well, here's the case right here, the Gamdiaz Telios E3. Let's get this unboxed.
So this is my first time ever using a product that came from this Gamdiaz brand. So my first impression on it wasn't too bad. Came with 2 RGB front fans and 1 RGB back fan. Build quality wasn't too bad for the $55 I got it for on Amazon. So I have to say it's a pretty solid case.
Alright, so we got 3 packages in the mail. I'm pretty sure this was $28. It was 2 $14 items. This was $25, and then this was also $25, which not too bad. Altogether, that totaled $78 for all 3. So I think we should get into the unboxing and explain what each one is. Let's start with this one. No bent pins. A nice little Ryzen 7 2700.
The second item I got was $27 on eBay, and it's 16 gigabytes of Ole Warhawk DDR4, and this is still one of my favorite RAM designs of DDR4. And now we're on to unboxing the last 2 packages I have in my lineup, which were 2 Wi-Fi cards that were cheaper to buy 2 of at $14 each. Here's what it looks like, and now I'm going to list off the parts for the main build. For graphics, we have a GTX 1050 Ti, and for an SSD, we have a 512GB Team Group MP30, and for the motherboard, an MSI Z590 Carbon, and for a CPU, we have the Intel Core i5-10400F, and lastly, we have one of those 500 watt PVA power supplies. So I'm voicing over this clip because I wasn't concise in it, but initially I was going to do an AMD build before I figured out that I had an MSI board laying around with an RGB header for the case. It just had an issue where the dual channel doesn't work, so I'm going to be spending this next segment trying to figure out how to make dual channel work on this motherboard. Hence why we don't use the Ryzen in this video.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't be doing it this way, but this motherboard is technically dead, so I don't really care what happens to it if it doesn't turn on. Let me rig something up and I'll be right back. So for the longest time, I always assumed that this motherboard was destined to be a piece of junk. It would only work with 1 stick of RAM in it. I went into the CPU socket and I figured out that 1 pin was bent, and it was the only pin responsible for something with the RAM. I got this for free, which makes the cost of the computer go down by like $100, which is really good for profit. That makes me excited. I was able to get the cover on top of the motherboard, hooked it all up, got everything put on. I'm not gonna remove the CPU at all. I think we're gonna get the cooler backplate on here, but actually, why not just get into the build? Let's just do that right now.
And onto the build, I have this little anti-static foam mat I do a lot of my building on so the motherboard doesn't move around too much while I'm putting stuff on. And we're just gonna go ahead and pop the RAM into their designated slots and take off the M.2 shield so we can put in the SSD.
I'm going to be taking this off and spray painting it white. Or for another fan, Sama ARGB Infinity Mirror fan that I'm going to be fitting on it. Be right back. So it's been painted, it didn't come out too bad, but something fell on top of it while I was drying right there, and there's a bit of overspray, but it shouldn't look too bad from the inside. It's a tinted glass case anyway. Alright, so I just need to put the top 2 screws in without scratching any of this coating. Let me switch the camera angle.
Back to the main build. I'm just preparing the CPU cooler, so I gotta take out the little stickies and put the bracket on the back so it doesn't fall off while I'm installing. And I'm just gonna get my spacers and screw the metal brackets on.
Got my Noctua thermal paste right here, so let's get this put onto the motherboard. Alright, so first thing we need to do We got our RAM installer, our cooler. Let's test it out and see if it works before we get out to cleaning the graphics card. Yeah, let's try this. Alright, it's also plugged into the wrong end. Cool. Alright, the moment of truth. Yeah. Alright, cool. It doesn't recognize the fan. Let me not flash, but let me restart the BIOS because this was once at one point configured to have a pump fan. Do that. Clean this out. Throw it in the case. List that. Put a Wi-Fi card in the other PC. That's kind of the agenda.
So here I'm just cleaning out and repasting the graphics card so that it looks nice when I put it into the build at the end. During the test boot I expected the letters and numbers to light up like some of the old EVGA cards, but I guess it didn't do that. I mean, I don't know what I expected from a 1050 Ti anyway. And here we are with the final parts of the build. I had to put a few more standoffs in the case because it didn't come with the two bottom right ones I needed, but yeah, I got over that.
I still don't know how I feel about these Apevia power supplies, but at least it's got a voltage switch on it, and I'm gonna face the fan down towards that vent for airflow reasons. Never left. Alright, we put our USB up in the top. Here's our first boot impression. So, oh, good, okay, cool. Make sure that dual channel is doing its thing. Yep, alright, good. We have boot. I need to get into the... So my USB installation's a little messed up. I still got like 2 more hours before I'm done with all this. See you then. Anyway, we got the Wi-Fi card installed. We'll see how that works in a little bit, but I need to come back over here and see if the Windows 10 installed. All right, so I just crunched the numbers. This computer in its entirety cost me $187 to build. Not bad. That cost $100 back there to make. Not bad as well. Honestly, this cost isn't that bad. I got the Wi-Fi to work. Update drivers, play a game. Oh, I gotta do heavy stress testing on this because I fixed the CPU socket. So I guess, yeah, I mean, this is how much I'm gonna record for now. I'll be back once I make a sale. I guess we should end this off today by saying I hope this sells. Hope this sells before the end of next week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Might be a little later than soon. And with that big white Corsair computer, there's a slight possibility that I'm going to just be using that as an in-the-room computer to keep stock of items. And for the next video, that Ryzen 7 I unboxed, we're gonna be using that, as well as one of those motherboards. Just gotta get a graphics card, power supply, SSD, case, and graphics card, and I already said that, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.